New York Times reporter Amy Chozick spent maybe more time covering Hillary Clinton than any living person. Through 2 presidential campaigns and a decade, she has a new book out. It's called Chasing Hillary, 10 Years, 2 campaigns, 1 intact glass ceiling. Chozick describes a lot about Hillary, her profane tirades against Trump. She notes with wonder how many men accused of sex harassment surrounded Clinton. She also concedes that she was charmed by Hillary a lot of the time. Amy Chozick of the New York Times joins us tonight. Amy, thanks for coming on. So you've taken some grief for this book from the right that says, you know, you concede in the book that you had affinity for Hillary, you share her politics. I just want to say at the outset, I like the fact that you were honest about it, unlike a lot of reporters who's, you know, you sort of have to guess. I thought you were really direct, and I appreciate it. But given that, the Hillary people are always sniping about you and complaining about you like you're the problem. Why? It seems to say a lot about them.
Exactly. Apparently, this is the book that the Clintons don't want you to read. And as you point out, it is partly sympathetic to her. And so I anticipated the blowback. I mean, part of what I get into at the book is that there's no gray area for Hillary Clinton. You're either completely devoted to her or you're an enemy. And, you know, a lot of the times my coverage was in between. And sometimes I wrote some tough stories. I mean, I was the beat reporter covering this campaign day in and day out. And so, you know, there wasn't a lot of gray area. You were either the enemy or you were, you know, completely devoted.
But I mean, how sort of out of it do you have to be, and I know the Clinton people feel this way, to think that like the New York Times is too right-wing to cover Hillary Clinton? I mean, I've heard them, they've said that to me, so I know they actually feel that way.
Oh, absolutely.
What planet are they on?
Well, they're on Planet Hillary, and which I've written about extensively. And one of the themes in the book that I think your viewers will find surprising is this decades-long battle between the New York Times and the Clinton camp. I mean, it was something I was naive about when I was put on the beat in 2013. I hadn't anticipated that her aides would essentially blame me for the Whitewater scandal, which Tucker happened when I was 12. But there's all this, which of course the New York Times broke. There is all this bad blood that has been passed on between the Clintons and the New York Times from generation to generation, of which I was a recipient of, put on her 2016 campaign. I mean, I think it would surprise a lot of people that that animosity exists.
So Chelsea's mad at you and criticizing you on Twitter?
Yes, Chelsea sent about 30 tweets in the past few days criticizing some of my reporting.
Let me ask you a question. So you said in the book, and I think I knew this, that the overwhelming majority of beat reporters covering Hillary are women. Hillary was running a campaign based essentially on the fact that she was a woman. If Orrin Hatch was running for president and like 15 out of 17 reporters covering him were faithful Mormons, you would say maybe that's not, you know, that's kind of stacking the deck a little bit. Do you see a problem with that arrangement?
That's interesting, because one of the things in the book that I point out is like Hillary actually liked the guys, you know, like your very own Ed Henry would grill her about her emails, and then she kind of liked, you know, she liked the banter with him, and she was sort of flirty with some of the guys. And so I don't think that there was a particular like love fest because women were covering her. If anything, I think there was the perception that women might be tougher on her to kind of prove, you know, the counter to your point, to prove that we weren't in the tank.
And she's tough. Is she the first self-described feminist you've ever met who's harder on women than she is on men?
I cannot answer that question.
But I think we both know. Amy Chozick of the New York Times, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Great to talk to you.